Howdy class, today we are going to take a virtual field trip to the 7 continents. So what you need to have out with you is your 7 continent fill in the blank sheet and make sure you're filling in the blanks as we go along with this PowerPoint. So our first stop is Africa. So Africa is made up of 54 countries and is home to more than 1.3 billion people. A fun fact about Africa is that Africa is bigger than the USA, Canada, and India put together. So it is a huge continent. The Sahara Desert is located in northern Africa and is the largest hot desert in the world. Right here in this picture, you can see the Sahara Desert. It is the tan part of Africa. And the largest river, the Nile River, passes through 11 countries in Africa. So here we can see the Nile starts here and it goes all the way through and up the top of Africa. So a very large, long river. Animals that you can only find in Africa will be the killer spring, which is kind of looks like a smaller deer. The African civet is a cat per se that almost looks like a raccoon and a ferret and a cheetah put together. Then we have the African wild dog, and then the Columbus, which is is part of the monkey family. So our next stop is going to be Australia. Australia is divided into 6 states and is also known as the land down under because, as we can see, it is below the equator. And a fun fact about Australia is it is not only a continent but an island. So as you can see in this picture, it is completely surrounded by water and ocean. It is not connected to another land mass or another country. It is an island, so it's completely surrounded by water. Australia is home to the Great Barrier Reef, and the Great Barrier Reef is the biggest coral reef system in the world. The reef contains more than 3,000 reefs and 900 islands. Animals you can only find in Australia are the short-beaked echidna, kind of looks like a porcupine, the numbat, and the Tasmanian devil. Next, we're going to be exploring Europe. So there are 50 countries in Europe with a total of 748 million people living on this continent. The 3 largest countries in Europe are the Ukraine, Russia, and France. And a fun fact is about 10% of the world's population lives in Europe. So Europe is a pretty large continent. So Europe is home to 2 countries that are completely landlocked by Italy, meaning that landlocked is when you're completely surrounded by land, so you have no water on either side of you. Rome was the first city in the world to reach 1 million people in population, and Istanbul is the largest city in the world that is on 2 different continents. Animals you can find in Europe are the European lynx, which is kind of like a bobcat, and then a European bison, and then the raccoon dog. Now let's move on to Asia. So Asia is the largest continent on the planet, both in size and population. The continent includes 48 countries, which are all members of the United Nations. More than 4.8 billion people live in Asia, and a fun fact is Russia is a transcontinental country, meaning Russia is part of 2 different continents, Europe and Asia. So as you can see, Russia is right here, and it's half down here. It's a part of Asia, but it's half up here as part of Europe. So Asia has Mount Everest and is located in the Himalayan mountain range, which is the world's highest mountains. The Gobi Desert is the largest desert in Asia and the 5th largest desert in the world. So here you can see the Gobi Desert and then also the Himalayan mountains. So animals you can only find in Asia are the rusty spotted cat, the lion-tailed macaque, and the red panda. Next up, we have South America. So South America is the 4th largest continent in size and the 5th largest continent when it comes to population. Brazil is the largest country that is part of South America. The country covers more than half of the continent's landmass. So you can see Brazil is right here and it completely covers, like it says, almost half of South America. The Amazon River is the 2nd largest river in the world after the Nile. Fun fact is the Amazon carries more water than the world's other 10 rivers combined. So we see in this picture that the Amazon River is very long, but as it says, not as long as the Nile. Animals you can only find in South America are the white-headed capuchin monkey, a blue-footed boobies, which kind of looks like a pelican, and then the blue morphe butterfly. Next up, we have North America. North America is the 3rd largest continent in size and 4th largest in population. It is home to 23 countries. A fun fact is Canada covers over half of North America, and that Canada is bigger than the US and almost as big as China. So here, this whole top half is Canada. So as you can see, that is way bigger than the United States. Death Valley in California is the lowest point in North America, which is 282 feet below sea level. It is also the hottest and the driest national park in the US. A fun fact is we live in one of the largest cities in North America, Houston, Texas. Animals you can only find in North America are the pronghorn, the black-footed ferret, and the groundhog. And our last stop is Antarctica. So for our last stop, we're going to travel to the least populated continent, Antarctica. Antarctica is covered in ice and is surrounded by the Southern Ocean. A fun fact is almost all of the continent is covered in a thick layer of ice. Antarctica is the driest of the 7 continents, and it is an icy desert with little rainfall throughout the year. Antarctica is the highest continent. Most of the continent is higher than 9,900 feet above sea level. A fun fact is Antarctica is the coldest continent on the planet. The average temperature along the coast is negative 10 degrees Celsius. Animals you can only find in Antarctica are the killer whale, the king penguin, and the elephant seal. So that is the end of our virtual field trip. Make sure you have all of those blanks filled in. If you do not, come to my desk and you can look over the sheets again.